like a boss with my feet up. Got a bag for him with a visa. Pulling up the know the leader. Getting that while I'm on the. She's a keeper. No play burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I cannot with no zeros.
Don't you run out? No, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I am a boss in the cut. Mayday, bubbles and these models. It's popping, I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now. Feeling like a boss right now. And you just took a loss right now. Dripping in the sauce right now. Get a sprinkle of my style. I'm about to lock down.
Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall.
I feel like a boss right now. Talk to the man right now.
Oh yeah.
Feel like the man right now. Your girl on my line right now.
Oh yeah.
Shorty oughta been my me. Ooh yeah. She love me in the gray sweatpants. You never left. Yeah.
Feeling like a boss, I done made it. Get so like a spaceship. I swear my life is amazing. Blowing money, no hesitation. I dimes, no basic. I know these be hating, but that's what made me feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall.
And I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, oh yeah.
Somebody call for the queen. Dagger.
Yeah. I never anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving them. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rats in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat, no pneumonia, the rats keep me up on the volume, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture, you got the picture me.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Chicago Bears. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Now Mack. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. You know, last week it was unbelievable how many times they were in the backfield. They had 7 sacks. Whatever they had for pregame meal last week, maybe they had it again.
I think they're going to continue to repeat it if they keep this up. But remember, we were at their facility, and we walked past the defensive meeting room, and what did it say over the door? Rush the passer. It's a philosophy. It's a statement. That's who they want to be, and they've been very successful with it.
Yeah, an opening drive sack. Third and long. It's Wilson. Over the middle. That's caught by Adams. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. And the Giants send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. First carry for Darius Geis. And he'll power his way up near the 25. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. To throw is Wilson. Throwing on 3rd and long. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that was a young pup, the rookie, being intercepted by a veteran DB.
And I loved our quick conversation in pregame with him on the field where he said, hey, look, I love playing these young quarterbacks. They don't know a whole lot yet, so I can use my mind to put me in a position to make a play.
Starting the drive with a give to Mack. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now, saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
And Hill running right through it. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. 3rd and 2, now Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. They'll drop to throw. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Let's go.
On second down, here's Wilson. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Well, that was their third sack of the ball game. Second in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the second spot pretty soon. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
14, got it.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. Going deep for Hopkins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Oh, it is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because this confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
Check, Patriot!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up.
Watch him now, Barney!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Come on, let's go! Run left!
On second down, Wilson. A dump down to McKenna. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve, and that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
The Giants on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind He hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed a big hit for a loss.
I can remember a game here in Chicago a few years back. It was so blustery that Robbie Gould tried a field goal and just about kicked it out of bounds. Once that wind starts coming in off Lake Michigan, it can cause havoc in the kicking game.
So the missed field goal, and now they're in great shape. They'll start at the 38. They start on the ground with Geis. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Penalty, it's Geis. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green,
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around. Not having that success, might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. To throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And his kick here is good. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of the team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Dante Jackson picks it, and the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Leopard! Leopard! Set! Green, 39! Green!
They'll hand it down to Geis. He's to the 10, and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Darius Geis with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Now the try here for the point after. The extra point up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And New York set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it, or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. The Giants on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
19.
From the gun, it's Wilson. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here we go now. Blue landed.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Lucky 56.
On play action, they'll throw. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take. Another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. They'll look to throw here on first down. So it stays, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. Shaquille Barrett. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Gone!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off inside the 10. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Mack. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. 1:59 to go in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break.
Keep working, baby. Keep working, fellas. Gun.
Here's Wilson to throw on 2nd down. And this will be incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
On 3rd down, it's Mack. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. And now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, That does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
No gain on the play there. Second down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you talk about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. On first down, this is Geis. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the...
And my goodness, another interception. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. That's an experienced DB picking off a rookie, and you know sometimes those experienced DBs, they love going against the young pups, don't they?
And I go back to the offseason, had a quick conversation with him about, hey, when you play younger quarterbacks, what's it like for you? And he says it's like being a boxer. I give him a lot of different angles, a lot of different looks, and a lot of times I just bait the young guy.
And there he baited him right into the interception. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
19.
Wilson looking to throw on 2nd down. Going deep and for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
Detroit!
Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Bears on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6.
Leopard!
They'll look to throw. He finds Beckham complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Play action fake. They'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Flushed out right. Now he's going to, and that's caught inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on third and long like that, how does that happen, that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll set up to throw. Looking for the end zone. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
The point after is good. And that makes our score 17-0. That'll be taken in the end zone. Pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. J.J. Watt able to drop him for a loss of 4. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Throwing on third and long. Wilson, he's going to float this over the... Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 35 yards there on the third down conversion. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45.
14.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And an alley to run. 30, 20, 10. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And following the pick 6, and they decent field position and throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
If they told him and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
14.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson, complete. Richardson has it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Tempo, tempo. Right, Wilson team. Shotgun. Spread left, spread left. 12.
Wilson now to throw on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go. That's caught inside the 20. That one goes for 36 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
We got 3, fellas. Go ahead. 380. Check 50, check 50.
They run it with McKinnon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
380. Let's go, 14. Gotta go.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have it.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Well, that field goal block pretty much sums up the day for them, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does. What's the word we often use? Symptomatic. It's just been a sign of how this one's gone.
Give a lot of credit to the guys who got in and blocked the kick. They've had the advantage all game, and they continue to press it.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gone.
He'll look to throw. On the move to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Third down, here's Geis. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes just a matter of philosophy.
And look at this. It's a fake. And this is caught. And the fake will work. He's going to have a 1st down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. He's going to air one out. And it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Geis, they'll try to run it. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up 3rd down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that
play. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
New York set to take the field. They begin the drive on the ground with Mack. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Now Wilson looking to throw on 2nd down. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Deion Jones in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Throwing is Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bears take over. Onto the field now come the Bears. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense. And
now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
Left side, it's Beckham. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A very solid gain of 27. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put...
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. In for the score. And the Bears continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run to Mack, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. To throw on second down, Wilson. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
To throw is Wilson. Throwing on 3rd and long. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Don't take forever, okay? Let's go, 14. 95, 95.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Time for a break. And the Giants send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now this is fielded in the end zone, so a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bears will take over at their own 20. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. They stay on the ground. Geis again. And he'll get this one up to the 26. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Open man, Smith-Schuster is complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll drop to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off-kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Now he's forced out right. Now he's going to send this one deep right side. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
39! Green 39! Leopard! Leopard!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Brad Wing now. On presumably to punt, though he did complete a pass earlier. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
Somebody call for the queen.
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop out of morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sister by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture, you got the picture me, pussy big ready for war like I'm Russian, ladies should never the luggage, my diamonds they tussling, my neck and my belly on, they calling for me and they, you want me like me and I look, yeah, her Rex on her, yeah, B-Rex better calm down, yeah, if you go around, come around, yeah, whole squad, yeah, squad goes, yeah, make some white gel on my toes, yeah, Farrakhan glass for the chosen, yeah, you can go and get mad, jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man, who's you, my shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too, dripping my sweat, tag on the I got it in the bag, man, all type of cash, I'm a general truth, I never killed anybody, but I got something, I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the, I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up, it was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truth, I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop out of morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sister by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a you got a picture,
You gotta picture me. Send me calling. Ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland. You should be cleaning my mansion. My peasants disgusting. Why don't you act like a husband and go get to dustin'? Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. They don't make a sound. Body goes on these. White paint on my toes. When I send a new Bay alert, gon' be mad. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost like who's you? Remember this face, cause I'm that you gon' lose too. Dripping in ice, you looking at you. It's squad goals win. Are you pretty like no?
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop out of morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sister by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture, jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man, my shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too, dripping my swag.
call a podcast Poppy. King goes up, see they trying to copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, gave in the chokehold. I be out on a late night, opposite a play fight. See sign break night, this break night.